So I'm just going to give a quick overview of CheckScan Plus before I hand over to Nick. So what is CheckScan Plus? So it's a managed vulnerability scanning service supported by our experienced pen testers and security analysts. It uses industry-leading application and infrastructure scanning technology. We deliver verified reports from our pen testers and security analysts, and then we can also run ad hoc scans, such as for the Log4j vulnerability. So what can we test? So we can test a wide range of things, external websites, web applications, APIs, external infrastructure, such as web servers. We can also scan internal web applications, UAT and development environments, internal infrastructure, such as with servers, network devices. And we can do all of this from one central console. So I suppose some common questions around vulnerability scanning related to that. So I suppose, what is a vulnerability scan? It's a method of identifying security weaknesses and flaws in systems and the software that's running on them. How often should you scan for vulnerabilities? I suppose as regularly as you can or as budget permits. Reporting maybe every 30 or 90 days is ideal. Statistics have shown that it only takes 8 days on average, as Dara mentioned, for an attacker to exploit a known vulnerability after it's released. So does your scanning tool provide the coverage you need? Well, different tools can scan different things. So it's about looking at what your tool can do. Does it cover applications, infrastructure? Because you need something that can kind of cover everything in your IT environment. DAST is a kind of a term mentioned quite a bit, and I suppose how does it relate to vulnerability scanning? So DAST is a broad term that sort of describes testing of a running instance of an application, and it's tested it, probe it using real traffic and requests. And I suppose vulnerability scanning would kind of fall under that in terms of scanning those applications. I suppose, can a vulnerability scanning be used to scan complex web applications such as single page applications and APIs? Yeah, but sometimes a different method is required to do discovery. I suppose you check with your scanning tool to see if it can do those kind of applications. Dara mentioned infrastructure scanning as well earlier on. Why is that important? I suppose infrastructure vulnerabilities can still be used by attackers to compromise a system, such as missing operating system patches, weak administrative passwords. So it's important to verify and fix these quickly. I suppose, how do you process the results of a scan? So I suppose a lot of scanners can produce, a lot of output. So it's about integrating those results into your overall vulnerability management process. They should be prioritized and allocated to system administrators owners to resolve. So a managed scanning service such as CheckScan Plus can help with this by reviewing the findings and removing false positives. This can make it easier for IT teams to review the findings. And lastly, how does vulnerability scanning relate to pen testing? So these are two common terms used, and sometimes maybe a bit confused about which is which and which is more applicable in a certain situation. Pen testing has its advantages. An experienced tester using manual techniques will find things that a vulnerability scan may not find. But the advantage of vulnerability scanning is it is automated, it can be run frequently and on a schedule, and it's more cost effective. Pen testing can be expensive, and you may only be able to run it once or twice a year. Vulnerability scanning you can do regularly, you can do quarterly, even monthly. So you're getting more up-to-date information and finding vulnerabilities instead of waiting, for maybe 6 months before you can do a pen test. So that was all for me.